It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com from the latest release from PC69 Ceremonial that is called Big Machine. And good interview there, Mr. Aiken.
Yeah, it was okay. And David's a nice cat. I like doing it on the Skype where we can actually hear him and not have that
right
of a cell phone. That's pretty solid. So, yeah, pretty good.
Sure. So has the interview or the new tunes changed your mind about the name at all?
Well, I'm certainly not going to support Bloody Jizz. I'm just not going there. But I don't, dude. I think for me personally, and maybe this is stupid, but I call them what they were when I first heard them, and they were PC69. So they've stayed PC69. The whole Pink Cream, that just sounds a little gayer, man. That sounds like a band I can't support.
Right. Well, I remember basically back in 90, I want to say 97 or 98 when I first heard them.
Yeah.
One of my former co-hosts from way back in the day.
Which Mike would that be?
Little Mike.
Okay.
Actually introduced me to Pink Cream 69, and when he first told me the name, I was just like, "What? What kind of a band, hard rock metal band, whatever, is Pink Cream 69?" And I actually dug him. He had several of their CDs and brought them into the studio, and that's where I learned about them.
They're a very cool band, and I do like them a lot. It's just I think that name has hurt them.
Right.
I honestly think that name, anything with the word pink in it, is never gonna sell in rock.
Sure.
We'd like to all put something in some pink, but we don't want anything with pink in it.
Right.
So.
Exactly. Well, speaking of pink,
yes.
Have you had any pink this week?
No, I have not had any pink this week.
So along with the alcohol, the abstinence of alcohol and the abstinence of Chris Aiken, your life is becoming dull.
Well, maybe. I actually, you remember I said last week I wasn't going to date for a little while, right?
Sure.
Well, that lasted a week.
Okay.
I'm actually going out with a new chick tomorrow.
All right. You're kind of like hungry like the wolf.
Well, I didn't go pursuing this one. This one pursued me and found me on the one of the dating sites.
Well, wait a minute. Before we even get into this.
Yeah.
Are you safe to talk about it pre-date? Because if she hears this, she might call you up tomorrow and say, "You could just forget it. You're a hateful dick."
Then I save some money, don't I?
Okay. All right, so go ahead. So somebody hit you up where?
There's a site out there called Plenty of Fish. It's the only one that I'm signed up for.
Plenty of Fish?
Yes.
Really? I never even heard of that.
It's POF.com.
Okay.
And I know, before everybody starts on me, that I said I was not going to do the dating website.
Sure.
And I just wasn't, as much as I've been running around and I've been out there, partying and being out, I just am not in enough social places, to where it's not like the old days, dude, where you just, if you were at the bar, you met somebody, and it just seems like there's not as many people out at the bars.
Well, but the thing is before, as you put it, you were also in your 20s,
True.
And it's a whole different game now that you're, a older adult.
Yeah, it is true. And the world itself has changed. People don't want to waste their time hanging out at a bar. And
Sure.
Maybe that's age, and maybe that's just Facebook and Twitter and all that other
stuff. And I also think it's more stringent laws, drinking laws, and, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I don't worry about those things.
Well, not you personally, but, also not only the laws have changed, but the economy, too.
Yeah, there's a lot to that. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that it's changed, but for whatever reason, I just was, I've told the stories. I'm meeting people in grocery stores and stuff. I'm literally almost felt a little desperate myself, where I was like bumping into people at the grocery store. Hey, how are you? What's your name?
Right.
Kind of a goofy thing. So I went ahead. I took a lot of heat from a lot of my friends who were like, you need to sign up for this site or that site, eHarmony or Match or whatever. So I signed up for the one.
Now, how did you discover Plenty of Fish?
My friend Adam.
Okay, I've never even heard that one, but okay.
My friend Adam has gone out and hooked up with a couple of chicks on Plenty of Fish.
All right.
So since he was able to hook up, I figured I'd be able to hook up. And in fairness, I have gone out with a few from that site, and so far, not so good.
Okay.
You remember that girl from a couple weeks ago, the one that did not go so well that I took to the range?
Yeah. The one who called you a hateful dick.
Yeah, her. I met her through Plenty of Fish. That's how I first was introduced to her, and I went after her a little bit. I reached out to her and thought she was cute and hit her up. Well, after the Super Bowl party, where I was all frustrated with the dating and everything, after Cindy, I was just like, fuck this. I'm not going to do this right now. I got enough stress going on with all my other shit in my life. So I just said, you know what? I'm not going to do this. And I didn't go back to the dating site or anything. I just kind of let things, go. Well, this new girl that's pursuing me, more or less, hit me up this week, this girl named Dana. So, she hit me up this week on a message, and then she asked me for a phone number. I gave her a phone number. We got on the phone. We talked for, I don't know, an hour or so. Talked a couple times during the week, texting back and forth all week. So we're going to see what that leads to tomorrow.
Okay.
But I'm not extremely hopeful.
Now, before you even meet this girl and you agreed to go out with her and you've texted with her, et cetera, what sparked your interest, to begin with, aside from her just reaching out to you?
A warm vagina.
She offered that to you?
No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know. I looked at the picture. She looked all right, looks decent, and I don't know, dude. It goes back to what I've been trying to say the whole time. I'm not trying to plan anything. I'm not trying to force something to happen. So therefore, if somebody wants to go out and hang out, I'm good. You want to go have some lunch? Okay, I'll go have some lunch with you. No problem, no biggie. It's not like I'm looking for the next Mrs. Aiken. No, thank you.
Sure.
I'm just looking to fucking have some fun and be out and, meet new people, and whatever happens, happens,
Right.
So here's one that's on the table saying, I want to meet you. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
It's that simple.
So
is that too simple?
No, it's not. I'm just asking the question. I mean, everybody's different the way they handle things, but so what is in store for a first meet and greet, as it were, and where do you think where do you think you would go, and what would you do?
Well, I know where I'm going. We're doing lunch tomorrow because she's one of those. She works odd hours, so she works on Fridays and Saturdays, which that's convenient. But we're going to go to a little Mexican place, that's in between the two of us.
Okay.
And for a change in my life, I finally found one that's fairly local. This one is only like one town over from me.
What, the Mexican restaurant?
No, the girl where she lives.
I know.
Yeah, the Mexican restaurant too, but
I finally found one. The Mexican restaurant. It's only a town over.
It's only one town over, so I can go there.
Right.
Oh, no, but I mean, dude, how many times have I been late coming to the show because I fucking have been hanging, whatever you want to call it, with all these different chicks that live all over the fucking planet.
Yeah, away out in BFE.
I mean, the one was in Avon Lake, which is far as fuck from me.
That's 40 miles.
While I'm not dating her, I do go and hang with Stephanie sometimes. She lives in Lima. That's 3 hours.
That's a minimum of 3 hours.
Yeah, minimum of 3 hours. The one girl, Cindy, she lived on the backside of Akron, closer to Canton.
Oh, okay, down where I lived.
Yeah,
down in Green.
That's an hour plus. It's like I have not had a whole lot of success of finding anybody, 10 miles or less.
Sure.
So this one is close, so we're going to go and see. But like I said, I'm not going into this with any kind of grand visions.
Expectation.
I'm really not. There's a thing, and you're probably not as privy to this. You might be, with the one, because of the one that, I won't say who, but the one that you're still talking to a little bit.
Okay.
I'll leave it there, so though you know who I'm talking about.
Right.
This one is trying really hard.
Okay.
And for me, that's not necessarily good.
Yeah, because it's contrived.
Yeah, it's just a lot of, and I don't know how to explain it. I was trying to explain it to somebody last night. It's like a lot of texting, and the texting is nice, and it's all nice stuff, but it's odd. You know, it doesn't feel like what a real person would say.
Well, it's a matter of just being overly compensating, too complimentary, too like tiptoeing around, not trying to say anything that might put you off, or you know, because it's the guy in the room that laughs a little too hard at a not so funny joke. Right.
That's what it is. And it's like, okay, you know, you don't have to try so hard. I said I'd go out, you know. Don't have to fucking lure me in.
All right, you got me.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Right.
I promise.
Right. Well, maybe she's used to getting stood up.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? But, you know, and again, this is one of my biggest pet peeves about dating just in general, is you're always subject to everybody else's fuck-ups.
Right.
You know, the fact that 9 of every 10 dudes are just looking with nothing else in their mind except fucking banger and hanger, you know, it's like I have to fight through that all the time.
Well,
it's
another saying. It's find them, feel them, fuck them, forget them.
Or find them, fuck them, and flee.
Right. The 3 Fs.
Yeah, the 3 Fs. Steven had the 3 Ps.
Right.
I've got the 3 Fs.
Right. You're contending with the 3 Fs.
That's right. But no, man, it's a weird thing, and I get it. Lord knows, between me and you, we both have enough friends that they're only in it for the pussy.
Right.
And, you know, that's not really how I operate. Not saying that I don't want the pussy. I certainly do, but, you know, it's just not the end all be all.
Right.
All right, hit that. Now I'm done.
Right.
Next.
That's not what you're about, man.
That's not what I'm about, man.
You have good intention.
Well, I don't know that I have good intention or bad intention. You know what I have intention to do? Eat some Mexican food tomorrow. That's what I have intention to do. Meet somebody, get to know if I like this person or not, and have some fucking food.
Right.
Period. You know, and no other intention than that, but should be interesting to see, because this is the first one that I'm going to go out with where I don't have the best vibe. You know?
Sure.
So it's like, okay, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Would you even bother if you had a bad vibe?
You know what? I've never done the blind date thing before. Never have. I don't think I've ever gone out with somebody that I've never met before.
Really?
Nope. It's never happened.
See, I don't know. I need to jump into your life for a minute. I just don't know enough girls.
Yeah, well, I don't either. But you know, there's been literally years between times with dating for me.
Really?
Yep.
See, I can't do that.
But see, you're new to it though. See, I've gotten to the point to where it's just like it doesn't really matter that much anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to throw one out because I'm curious on this. I'm going to say her name because it doesn't matter. She's not ever been a player on the show or nothing. But with Gina.
Yes.
How did you know Gina? I mean, was somebody introduce you to her? Or
I met her through Big Mike. I met her through Big Mike. Yeah, Big Mike worked for her. She owned a trucking company.
Oh, because I thought you just met her through the show.
No, Big Mike. She was Big Mike, truck driver, steel hauler.
Yeah.
Gina and her former husband owned a trucking company. It was called Oversize Hauling, and they did specialized wide loads.
Okay.
And, you know, she was into the classic metal, and when she got divorced, you know, she was tuning into the show because it was on FM radio.
Right.
Because Big Mike was saying, you know, you got to listen to the show. It's cool. It's, you know, whatever.
Right.
And so she would tune in and listen, and then we were at a Tesla concert, and I met her face to face, and she was like hanging out with some other guy at the time.
Right.
But then after she dumped him, then she'd call into the show like a request or something.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, Mike says it's really cool. Maybe I could stop down there one day.
Right.
And I said, yeah, sure, not a problem. So she came down and hung out, and, we kind of hit it off.
Right. And then you banged her right there in the studio.
Well, we won't talk about that, but...
That was a good-looking girl.
Yes, she was.
Smokes.
Yes, she was a peaches and cream skin beauty.
She was as beautiful as anybody I've ever seen.
Right.
That was a good-looking girl. I'm jealous of you for that one.
I took her to go see Enough's Enough at the Revolution.
Yeah.
And we were back in that room in the back with Chips Enough and Donnie and, a couple other people were hanging out.
Yeah, sure.
And Chip was so mesmerized with her.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
That he said, I could just sit here. He said, Neely, you wouldn't mind if I would just sit here and look at her. I just want to sit here and just look at her all day. He goes, I would just be happy to just sit here and look at her.
Jesus. But you know what? There's truth to that with that one. That girl, and boy, did she trash it with the tattoos.
Oh.
But oh, my God. When you first met her and first got with her, that girl was model hot.
Yes, she was. She was tall. She was lean. She was very pretty. She just had a good personality.
She was definitely in the mid-'90s Pam Anderson range without the big giant tits.
Right.
She really was that kind of beautiful.
Sure.
She was a beautiful. I hated when she came down to the studio. Dude, she was one of those that looked so good that you got uncomfortable talking.
Right.
And it was, fucking all stupid because you didn't want to look like a tool in front of her.
Right.
She was. Oof. Boy.
Yeah, when she came out to that broadcast we were going to do for Stephen Piercy.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen her in, I don't know, close to 2 years.
Yep.
And she was all tatted up and down her arms. I was just like, what in the hell?
Yeah, you were like totally disappointed.
Oh, I was just like, oh, you just ruined it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd still hit it.
Yeah, I know, but it was shocking.
It was, and that was tragic with that girl because she didn't need it.
Nope.
She could have done good with just like a tramp stamp and something on her shoulder, and that would have been enough.
Yeah, plenty. But that
would have been more than enough.
But the whole upper arms and all that stuff, I was just like, wow.
Yeah,
what
she went from really having no tattoos to Nikki Sixx.
Exactly.
In not very long.
No,
either.
Within 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Like she spent every afternoon in the fucking tattoo parlor.
Yeah, it's like, what were you thinking?
I know, it's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, so anyway, swinging it back around, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm gonna try a lunch with yet another one.
Well, they started a new thing here in the Chicagoland area, and I know this has turned into the whole classic dating show, but they got a new service out there, and what you said just kind of reminds me of it. It's a dating service.
Yeah.
It's called It's Just Lunch.
Yeah, they have it here too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have it here too.
Yeah,
I haven't tried it yet.
Same thing. It's just lunch. They hook you up with somebody who fits your profile, whatever. You go out with them, you have lunch, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And then it's just like, it's just lunch.
Yeah. See, I'm actually not opposed to that, to be honest. That actually sounds pretty good.
Sure.
That sounds a lot better than this whole fucking reading a profile and trying to figure out who she is and, talking, the small talk horse shit. And I just hate it. But, got to keep doing it.
Right.
Or fucking keep beating it. Those are my two choices.
Nice.
Those are my two choices. Fucking left hand or her hand.
Sure, exactly.
I don't have a whole lot of options here.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you can give us a full report next week.
I will give a full report next week unless I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Right.
And boy, I would be happy if I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Sure.
So that would mean that there's actually something good.
Right.
Sadly, my fucking dating life gets to be fucking reported on weekly because it's just a disaster.
Yeah, you should just keep your personal life off the air.
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me just do that. Dude, I told you before, and this is a prime example. Is this a time that I should shut the fuck up? Yep. And am I going to? Nope.
Right.
Not who I'm going to be. Not going to play that game. I will not play the game, dude. No. No way.
All right.
That's it.
Well, I'm gonna bring this vibe down just a little bit.
All right.
And I'm just gonna make the fans just hate both of us.
All right, well, use the deep voice then. Hey there.
Hey.
In a serious moment.
It's that time of the show again, boys and girls, where you're just gonna hate me and Chris.
Yes. Why is that?
And now, it's time for another lengthy email from Mark Nero.
Dude, come on.
I didn't plan on doing this, but when I read some of the questions, especially when it deals with you,
Oh, Jesus.
I can't resist.
Why do we have to have Mark who fucking hates me? Let me guess. Why is Chris such a dick?
Nope.
Comment?
Nope.
All right, go ahead.
I'll make this quick.
All right.
Hail and kill, and who the fuck cares?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
At least he's, falling in line.
That's fine.
I always like the fact that he's now using my first name in all of his emails now.
Of course he is.
As Wendell always says, I always say this,
All right, Wendell.
we have an email from our good friend Mark Nero. To quote Wendell, he put my name in there twice in one sentence.
Wow, aren't you special?
Because we're buds.
You guys are pals.
There's the new remixed Great White CD of he says Elevation, but it's not it's Elation.
Elation, yeah.
Is there any difference?
Don't have it, don't care.
Right.
Next.
I see LA Guns will be playing in Florida in March, a poolside party at the Days Inn.
That's it?
That's it.
That's great, Mark.
Now, see, if you had your crickets.
What is up with this dude? Is he fucking half a retard or what?
I don't know. I have to agree with Australian Tim with Airborne. There you go. As being great, let's see, Airborne as being great for 3 CDs along with Bullet. So he agreed.
Oops, I pushed the wrong button.
Well, anyway, Mark says he agrees with Australian Tim that Airborne's first 3 CDs are great.
I agree with that too.
Okay.
The first 3 Airborne CDs are great.
Right. Dirty Age is a new band that has an AC/DC vibe.
Okay.
Called Plug In.
Okay.
You may want to look into it for anyone that's interested. You're welcome.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that.
The Metal Madman has heard about Angel of Death and said Wednesday that she and others are afraid of joining the Metal Madman chat room. He states his chat room is the craziest.
Okay.
He heard about Angel of Death.
Is this where I say, dude, you're stealing our people?
Let's see. I'm trying to figure this out. The Metal Madman has heard about Angel of Death.
Okay.
And said Wednesday that she and others are afraid of joining the Metal Madman chat room because his chat room is the craziest.
All right. And?
Also, the Metal Madman will be doing 24-hour Metal Madman show this April with phone-in line and giveaways.
Wow.
Everyone in the CMS chat room is invited, as I will be there for all 24 hours.
I don't doubt that. That's what a fucking window licker does. It sits by aimlessly licking windows while fucking their hero fucking speaks.
Chris, the madman gave props to you this past Wednesday.
Well, thank you. I'll give props back to the madman. I listen to the show probably more than people realize. I just don't do the chat room that often.
Right. He gave props to you, pal.
Well, thank you.
The Metal Madman, I think this is a plug for the Metal Madman show.
Well, hey, I'll plug it. Metal Madman, 7 to 10.
Right.
Over at themetalmadman.com on Wednesdays,
Sure.
7 to 10 Eastern.
Right. The Metal Madman is also coming out with a CD of his old band, Mommy Dearest, if you ever heard of it. It's great.
No, haven't heard it.
Metal Madman is now calling his fans in his full chat room. Metal Madman is now calling his fans in his full chat room.
Yeah, he gets their phone number and he calls them.
Okay, and
That's something.
what's that? I don't get it.
I'm not here. I mean, here's the long and the short of it, Mark. We have no issue with the Metal Madman, and I see where this is going. Where it's either we suck his dick or we fucking say he sucks. And no, I'm not going to play the game. We've always got along with the Metal Madman. We always do get along with the Metal Madman.
But why all the plugs though? Is he trying to say that the show that Metal Madman, what he does is like the shit or what?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not really sure what's going on there.
I don't know, and I don't care. You know, Metal Madman does his show. It's his show. I like it personally. I think you like it too.
Yeah, it's a good music show.
We love the Madman.
Sure.
You know, and to be honest, I know you probably don't follow this, but I love his little video. He does these videos that he calls Precision and Accuracy.
Okay.
Which are just fucking funny, where he'll throw a fucking football like 900 yards into a basket and shit.
Oh, okay.
Hit golf balls 900 yards directly into the hole.
Sure.
They're just funny videos.
Sure.
And I love them.
So he's very adept to doing video editing.
Yeah, he's really and he's just into the whole promotion of the Metal Madman show. And good, you know. I'm glad for him, and I'm certainly happy that his show is fucking carried through. You know, I mean, hell, we were there helping him when it started.
Yeah, he was on the CMS radio network for years.
Yeah, and he'll tell you that now. I mean, I helped him buy his first set of streams.
Right.
You know, and that's not me trying to say, well, that's why he's great. It's because of me. It's not, you know, and he does his thing, and it's cool, and it's fun. I don't know what Mark's trying to do here, if he's trying to stir the pot or whatever, but there's no pot to stir. We like the Madman.
I don't know. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Anyway, whose voice is better now? Don Dokken or Chris Aiken doing Just Got Lucky?
Obviously, Chris Aiken just got lucky.
Right. That's the obvious one for me.
That's easy.
Now, you're going to love this.
Okay.
What is bigger, Chris Aiken's waist or Angel of Death's chest?
Probably my waist.
What does he know about Angel of Death's chest anyway?
Nothing.
Nothing.
The only ones that know for sure is me and you.
That's it.
You know, that's the only ones.
Now, here's a dumb one.
Okay.
Not that any of them stood out anyway.
As opposed to all these brilliant ones so far, right?
Right. Who can replace Don Dokken when he can't sing anymore?
His son, Tyler?
Nobody.
Tyler.
When it's done, it's done.
You don't think it'll be Tyler Dokken?
No.
Isn't his son's name Tyler?
Yes.
Yeah, Tyler Dokken. Hey, it's me, Tyler. You just got lucky because I'm here.
Right. My dad would have loved me to sing this for you guys, so thanks for rocking with Dokken.
Yeah. My dad's in the home now, but I'm going to sing this one. This is one about him sitting in that home because he's alone again without me.
Right. And that's it. Thanks for reading this email. Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. Hand job. Your good friend from Florida.
Well, thanks, Mark. You know, Mark, I just picked up this vibe. You know who would really like to get these emails? The Metal Madman.
Yeah, but does the Metal Madman read emails?
He might. He might take it up when he gets these quality emails. If he gets something of this kind of caliber, how could he ignore it?
Sure.
How could he ignore it to do new listening parties for like the new Crocus or whatever when he can fucking talk about Mark's fucking, hey, I heard a band once and they sang a song. Can you play it?
Right. Well, getting out of that segue, and since you mentioned the new Crocus,
yes,
you did something special for the fans this week on the CMS Radio Network.
I did. I just I got my hands on the new Crocus, and I put out I'll call it a flash mob thing, although there was, 15 listeners or whatever.
Okay.
But I just sort of queued it up and put it out there on the CMS Radio Network, and I put an announcement out an hour before I aired it on the Facebook that, hey, we're going to play something that you guys haven't heard before in its entirety at noon Eastern, and we played the whole album.
Oh, there you go.
So if you were listening to CMS Radio Network and you're a Crocus fan, you've heard it.
Good.
It's pretty solid, too, actually. I like it.
Good. I have not heard it yet.
Pretty solid. Not overly. It's like Hoodoo, which I liked but didn't love. It's kind of mid-tempo stuff, which is not bad.
Right.
Again, not the best, but not awful.
Sure. Well, I being that we talked about having the Roku,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and I like to pull up the Vivo.
Yeah, sure.
Crocus has been, for their last record, I believe, they actually filmed a couple of music videos.
Really?
Yeah. And I just happened to catch them on Vivo. I didn't know who it was immediately, but, I saw Mark Starace on there.
Right.
And I was just like, that guy looks so familiar. Who the hell is that? Because basically I had the sound muted.
Yeah, okay.
And I had just the video playing on the big screen. I was so like, who is that,
Right.
So I flipped it up, and it was just like, wow, these guys look ancient.
Well, dude, it's funny because most people remember Mark with the big black poofy hair.
Yeah, of course.
And now he's like the silver fox with the big gray ponytail.
Sure.
He looks totally different. He does look like an old man.
Yeah.
But he still brings it.
Sure he does.
He still rocks, man.
He sure does. In fact, I think Beavis and Butthead cut up on them one time where they were saying, look at this guy's head. Because his whole head sucks. Because he had the big afro head.
Right, yeah.
It was funny. I'm going to have to find that clip, but they were talking, there was like the Crocus video from the 80s, and he just,
his whole head sucks.
His whole head sucks. This guy sucks. His whole head sucks.
That's too funny.
It was really funny. I'm going to have to find that Beavis clip.
It's too funny.
Well, speaking of the new Crocus, dude, what do you say we get into some?
All right, let's go ahead.
You got anything specific you want to play off the new one? I haven't heard the new one, so...
I will choose, and you're calling me on the spot, and I can only think of one title, so I'll choose that one, which is Better Than Sex.
Is it, though?
Well, I don't know about all that, but... Although, I guess it depends on the partner, really.
Sure.
Because, you know what? Fucking a bowl full of shit sandwich could be better than sex if the girl's fucking terrible.
Well, I thought our good friend Jeff Tate taught us a lesson that there's no such thing as bad pizza.
Yeah, that is true.
So I think you might have to retract your statement.
Yeah, you're right. I probably will.
All right.
If Jeff Tate said it, and, he's clearly the king of sex.
Sure.
So. All right, I retracted.
All right. Well, let's jump into some new Crocus. What's the new one called?
It is called Dirty Dynamite, I think.
Okay.
I think it's Dirty Dynamite.
Dirty Dynamite.
Something Dynamite.
Something Dynamite.
Yeah, I think it's Dirty Dynamite. I could be wrong about that.
All right. Well, anyway, let's check out some brand new Crocus. This is called Better Than Sex, exclusively here
On your classic metal show.